Hey guys, my name is Felicia Fallon. I'm an artist, traveler, and a Noonday ambassador. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about two different countries. The first one is Thailand, and the other one is Guatemala. And what do these have to do with each other? There is a connection that I wanted to share, and it's we live in the Tri-Cities, Washington, where I volunteer with refugees, and I also have worked with them at different things. Um, and one of the groups that ties these two countries together beautifully are the Burmese people, specifically the Myanmar, Burma, two different names, same country. The Karen people, the Karani, the Chin, and the Kachin people are all people groups that we have here in our city that I've been blessed with the opportunity to practice English with, teach English at the Family Learning Center. We've also had a couple people over to our home for dinner. And through these relationships, I've learned a lot about this culture and observed different things. And I am by no means an expert. There's definitely people I know that know a lot more than I do, but some things that really stand out and I think you guys will find beautiful and benefit from as well. So, in the Tri-Cities, like I said, we have these people groups. There's a couple events that I've been to where I work with Somali girls in the high school, and we've done henna, which I have henna rubbing off on my hand right now. We've done henna at the elementary school for the elementary kids to see what cultures are represented in their school, because it's a very diverse school with a lot of different countries represented and languages represented. So at these events, the Karen table, the Burmese, I should say Burmese or Myanmar table, the Burmese table has women who do what is called backstrap loom weaving. And so this is a bag that is, there we go. It's hooked on my tripod and the other bag fell. But is using the backstrap loom weaving method where you have what's called the warp, or maybe the weft. You have the warp is paper, the weft is weaving, I believe. But so you have the strings that go this way, and then you have the weave that goes in between them. And so the woman is sitting on the ground. The strings are attached to the wall or a tree or whatever it is attached to in the community or in the home. And the weaving is done in the lap. It's a really neat program, or a really neat process. I've taken photos of it that I can, I'll share them in my Facebook group. I'm not sure if I'll edit this video yet. But it's a really beautiful process, and it's really sturdy. These bags are used by men and women. My English students will use them to carry their books to class, both men and women. I've also seen younger boys with them from the community. We took kids skiing for the Cops and Kids program. The Karen boys have the same style of bag holding whatever it is they brought with them for the day. And it's a cultural tradition that I find really beautiful, really interesting, really inspiring. But it is also used in Guatemala. And so the Guatemala bags that have been woven use the same technique. There's a bunch of pictures on the blog and in my Noonday group on Facebook as well that show the Guatemala ones. Also, if you look on Instagram, there are tons of photos from the trips. And so this is the Laguna jewelry pouch. It has 4 little pouches on the sides for jewelry, and then a bigger pouch in the middle. And it does each pouch holds about 2 small essential oils bottles, and then there could be 4 in the middle. So you could do 12 oil bottles if that sizing helps. They're pretty small. You can barely fit a Mio thing into one of the pouches, and it might not actually go. It's a very tight fit though. So actually, let me see if I can do it. Yeah, it's a little too. I'd say it's too small for this. I was able to get it in earlier, not on camera, but so that's about the size, about the width of 3.5 fingers is. I have all 4 in there, but you can see it's overlapping. So anyways, just showing you a little bit size comparison. 40-ounce water bottle, we'll see. Yeah, 40-ounce water bottle fits in it. It's about that much extra. So all that just to show you the bag. But the other one is sturdy too, and it's only 1 layer. It's not for sale through Noonday, but I'm just talking about the technique and how sturdy it is. But these bags, I do find them really sturdy, really solid, and they do come with a liner layer as well. I love the bright colored liner because you can find things in it. That's purse organizers are great when they have bright colors inside because you can see everything in your bag. So that's the Guatemala connection to where we live. What is the Thailand connection? So there are the union earrings. The union earrings were made in Thailand by Burmese refugees. Thailand is right on the border. A lot of the women in our community, men too, I know the women better just because there's more women in my classes because the men are usually working. But the women need to learn English to take care of kids and to do all of the things in the community that we do in our daily life. And so these earrings are made by that community. And I'm showing, so I usually wear them on adapters or different ways. So I'm going to show you two different ways that I wear them. I have gauged ears, so tricks for that too. But all of the ceramic pieces that we currently have from Thailand are made by the refugee community on the border. They have an artisan shop there. And so it's a really special opportunity to have something that's really beautiful tradition that goes behind it. But one of the cool things with Noonday is that there's the values where Noonday is building a flourishing world. And a flourishing world is defined as a world where children are cherished, women are empowered, people have jobs, and we're all connected. And I think sharing cultural things will help with that connection. So that's why I'm doing this video. And learning a little bit more about the people groups that are making your pieces, I think is really special. And so the pieces from the shop there are made by the same people group that we have in our hometown in Tri-Cities, Washington, Kennewick, Washington specifically. And so these are the union earrings. And I wanted to show you guys, since I said I have my ears gauged, they are a 0, which is pretty big, about the size of a pencil. But with this, it is big enough to cover that hole. So I use one of the backs that has the round extra bit on it. And I'm not very good at getting them on. I haven't used stud earrings and post earrings in so long. Now I'm struggling with it. So actually a criticism I have of the style of earring, these aren't Noonday ones. These ones are from Amazon. I have a findings pack because I do make jewelry from time to time, but you have to get them lined up just right. And so that's a pet peeve of this style of earring back. Downside if you decide to use this method, but they are big enough to cover up my zeros. If I pull on them, you can see the hole behind it. But when I put them on, it's not super visible. And mine are zeros. So if you have an 8 or 6 or whatever, you'll probably be just fine. Because I kind of have to make it so you can see it. The other way that I wear them is on, I've been doing extenders that are for people, like clip-on extenders for people that don't have their ears pierced, and it just slides in there. With that technique, these are the circle ones. There's different styles. These are my least favorite, if that helps at all. They're a little bit harsher on the ear because of that point. I find the other ones are a little bit nicer. The clips that, let's see, I have one on these guys. I find this style to be a lot nicer where they have the screw that changes the tightness of it. I find these a lot nicer. So just for sharing, if you guys are going to get some of this style, and then it just clips on. But one thing with this technique is that the backs are going to be there's going to be some paint over on the back. I think the other one might actually have more. Let me see if it does. So you can see the worst one, if you will, which I personally as an artist do not mind it. I've done this technique and it's very easy to get paint on the back of anything. So I love the imperfections. I think to me, it's something that just means that it's more handmade. And I think the bag that I have has a couple little imperfections in it. And I find it extra beautiful. The bag, not from Noonday, but the bag from the Burmese community. And so that's with these earrings, you will see also the one that's painted on the back doesn't, but the other one does have a little bit of bubbling and then some cracking in the bottom. And that's just as part of the glazing technique where it can bubble and crack. So and mine feels perfectly smooth. So maybe if you feel texture or something, then it could be brought up. But really, it's part of the technique. As an artist, like I said, as I drop it, as an artist, I don't mind I know that certain art techniques are not perfect, I guess. So I think that is all for this one. But I hope that connecting both of these pieces, both the loom backstrap loom weaving method and the ceramic pieces, to the Karen people from, Burmese people. Karen is one specific tribe. It's the most common tribe in our city. So connecting this people group, these people groups back to Noonday is one of the things that Noonday values is, so Noonday seeks to create a flourishing world, and that's a world where children are cherished, women are empowered, people have jobs, and we're all connected. And so my goal of sharing this video with you guys is helping to build some of those connections, helping us in the middle of the United States be connected to Burmese refugees on the other side of the world. And I think we can have that connection through products, but also understanding a little bit about the people groups and their history and their cultures is also beneficial. So I hope that sharing a little bit about this group has been helpful. One thing that I find really beautiful is a lot of Karen birthday parties. They will be singing hymns and praying together. That's something that we don't really see in American culture very often. Our birthday parties are much more exciting and loud and bigger, whereas the Karen community and the Burmese community as a whole, I should say, are much more reserved and more quiet. They also, most of the people we have in Tri-Cities are Christian from a fairly, like I said, they sing songs and sing hymns and pray. There also are Buddhists as well in Tri-Cities, and so it's those two religions are the ones that we have here. But yeah, it's a really special community, and so I hope that this video has helped you guys feel a little bit more connected to this people group that you may have otherwise never had any communication with. And actually, one thing with this community that you'll see a lot, I volunteer in the school with Somali girls, and so I get to know the Karen community as well, because all of the refugees are in the similar ELL, English Learners Language program together, and so they're in the same classroom, and so I get to know these kids, and you'll see creams that are a little off-white, about this color, that color, but a little bit more peachish. You'll see these creams on young women's faces and girls' faces, and you'll see them in the community walking around like that. And as an American, we're kind of like, well, why didn't you finish doing your makeup? Like, why are you doing this? Like, we don't do this. But it's a lightening cream and also brightening cream, and then also a moisturizer that people do. And I believe it might be worn as sunscreen at some times, but it is a part of the culture. And in on the Noonday website, if you look, you will see that there are people who have this cream on their face in the photos in some of the Noonday pictures from the same tribal group that is working on the same people groups that are working on the ceramic pieces from Vietnam, or on the ceramic pieces from Thailand. And so when you see that, I hope that you'll be like, oh, I know what that is. It's a cream from a tree that is used to protect their skin, and it's considered a beauty thing. It's traditional. It's something that their families have done for years and years and years. And when you see that, I hope there's a connection there, that you feel connected to this people group, to these women across the world that we'll never probably meet, but there are some people from the same groups in the United States, and they're a wonderful group to get to know. And so I hope this video will bless you guys and help you see that humanity and see that connection there as well. So thanks, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.